Welcome back to a new episode of Happy Hour here on the Filmaholic channel. This is our weekly movie news show where we talk about all the different topics throughout the week. We don't have a whole lot to talk about today, but we do have a Bill returning to talk, so that's exciting. Let's jump right into it. We did have someone pass away this week. Jerry Stiller passed away. What do you guys think about this? Big fans, Jerry Stiller?
He's all right.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Started watching The Cable Guy last night. I'm not sure if he's in that or not. I know it was directed by Ben Stiller, so kind of expect maybe a cameo. I've seen it before, but it's been a while.
I don't know. I mostly grew up with him watching King of Queens. So.
Yeah, my dad liked King of Queens, so that's what I mostly knew him from. I didn't like that show, so but you know he wasn't a problem in the show. Him and the leading lady were both fine in King of Queens.
I didn't like either.
You didn't like her either?
No.
No. Well, you can catch her on the other Kevin James show.
I thought Pat Oswalt was funny on it.
Don't remember him in there. I think Adam Sandler made some cameos.
He's one of the main supporting characters.
Don't know. All right. Now, let's jump into the movie news of this week. And I want to kick things off with Star Wars. It's always, usually we're either going to start with Star Wars or end with Star Wars for the week. This week we're going to start with it because we got 3 different Star Wars topics I do want to touch upon. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the biggest one first, and then we'll go down. We'll go down. So the first one here, and the Hollywood Reporter, they broke the news this week. And I came across it first on Instagram. I was just like scrolling through different Instagram things. And I came across it, and my first reaction was, if this is real, this actor is not playing who they think he's playing. His name is Tamira Morrison. Is that how you pronounce it? Do you know? Okay. He played Jango Fett in the prequels. He has also recently played the father in Aquaman. Jango Fett had obviously the clones looked like him as well, so he played the clones in the prequels. Boba Fett himself was actually a clone of Jango Fett, so an older version of Boba Fett would look like him in reality, and I had always wondered when they were going to make the Boba Fett movie, were they going to stick to that? Were they going to keep it canon, or were they going to cast somebody who looks somewhat similar but a bigger name and say, they didn't care? Or what they were going to do. But the Hollywood Reporter came out and said that he was returning to play Boba Fett in Mandalorian Season 2. Now, when I first saw the headline, like I said, I assumed that they were wrong, and I had to go read the article first. I was like, people are just speculating that he's probably actually just playing Rex, which I don't know too much about Rebels. I'm assuming that he is still with Ahsoka by the end of that, but I don't know. Maybe he isn't. And I do want to catch up with that show eventually, watch it, that and Clone Wars. But I know he's a big part of it. He's a big fan favorite, and he's still alive in Return of the Jedi because they've said that one guy that you see in Return of the Jedi towards the end, one of the rebels, is actually Rex. So I assumed that he was playing that character instead. That seemed more believable to me than them coming out in the Hollywood Reporter and saying that it was Boba Fett. But then I read the article, and the article does say that he is playing Boba Fett. What do you guys think?
I hadn't watched Mandalorian, so.
Bill?
I'm cool with him coming back. At first, I wasn't that excited when I heard about the Boba Fett returning news. But then when I started thinking about it, I was just like, well, we barely got anything out of him, like, on screen. So it was just like, why not doing him Mandalorian? But yeah, I'm happy with him returning, and plus with the age and stuff, it fits perfectly.
I'm not like over the moon excited about this, but I am excited about it. Like, Boba Fett's never been one of my favorite characters. I don't understand why he is some other people's. Good for them, but I understand why. But I'm also not against seeing something with Boba Fett. I would like to see something that makes me like that character that much. I'm not really. I do see, at one point before Rogue One came out, people were speculating that was going to be a bounty hunter type movie. about a group of bounty hunters stealing the plans to the Death Star, and that Boba Fett was going to be one of them. And that actually excited me. Like, that's the only kind of Boba Fett prequel that I would have been interested in, was like him working with a group of people. But I'm more interested in a post, after Return of the Jedi type Boba Fett story, with him getting out of the Sarlacc pit and seeing him in this, landscape, maybe try to get revenge on Han Solo, which I'm curious if that will happen. But the big questions I have here going into this show is, the article also said that, and I don't know if this is confirmed, that in season 1, I'm gonna give a little bit of a spoiler here, Ethan, but it's not too much of a spoiler. In season 1, there's an episode where at the end of the episode, the storyline with the Mandalorian's over, and then cuts back to something else, and it shows a figure walk up to a dead body, and it just shows the feet and like the cape and like the I don't even know the word, I just blanked on it, but his boots. And when I watched it, I thought it was Boba Fett, and I got really excited. I was like, oh man, because this makes sense, because that episode is on Tatooine. So I was like, oh, they're bringing him back, and he's going to tie in to the next few episodes. It'll be like this big surprise, like how the child was. But then we didn't get any more of that. That didn't come back in season 1 at all, and that was in episode 5. There was 8 episodes in season 1, and then by the end of season 1, I assumed that was just the main villain, Esposito's character, because he also has like a cape type thing. So I assumed that was supposed to be him, like following the child and that situation. But now the article that I read said that was actually supposed to be Boba Fett, and that was just a little tease of him in season 1. What do you think about that? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Which I'm counting.
Yeah, I remember you. I think like that was like your first prediction.
Yeah.
So yeah, so on that, but shit, I don't know. Like, okay, maybe I do believe them, but I think probably the Boba Fett thing was like a last minute thing. So it probably could have went like.
You think they added that into season 1 at the last minute?
No, not like at the last minute, but like probably they were just like, ah, fuck it, it looks like him. Let's just say it's him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious now if that was supposed to be him too. And I also want to touch upon this real quick, is that the last time we saw Boba Fett, he was eaten by the Sarlacc. So in the Aftermath trilogy, which is canon, if they want to follow it, and I feel like Favreau or at least Dave Filoni pays more attention to the canon stuff than, say, the Skywalker, the sequel trilogy and everything. Like, he isn't going to make something that's going to contradict something that is canon, especially like that, because that was one of the bigger canon books that come out.
Yeah, just real quick, one of the things I love about Dave Filoni, even if the material is complete shit, he's going to find a way to make it better way for us to understand it by adding a few things here and there.
Absolutely, and we're about to talk about him in the next topic. But in that book, it shows that on Tatooine, there is this like new sheriff type figure in the town who has taken the Boba Fett's armor, essentially the Sarlacc spit out, or that Boba Fett was spit out and he took the armor off. This guy found the armor, put it on, and he's like became like the sheriff of this town. So that's another question. Was that Boba Fett, or was that the sheriff guy in his outfit at the end of that episode? And also, why would Boba Fett still be on Tatooine? Because I don't think he lives on Tatooine. He was just there, right, chilling with Jabba and that area. So why would he have stayed on Tatooine for like 5 years? Did he just now get spit out? Like, well, that doesn't make sense because that guy had his armor. There's a lot of questions that I'm curious about, and I wonder if they'll just ignore that trilogy, because it never says that it's Boba Fett's armor. It just hints that it is. I'm curious about it. And I also wonder too, like, do you think that we'll see the Mandalorian tie in with the core 3 characters at any point before the show's over?
probably not very much. Like I think it's mostly. I mean, it's just mostly tying some stuff from like the Clone Wars.
I think it's mainly going to be that stuff, and I think if any character shows up in this show, it will be Luke, and that'll be towards the end of the series. But now that you got Ahsoka in there, you don't need him as much. And I also want to point that out. It's like I'm kind of annoyed. Oh, I forgot to add that too. Bo-Katan. They announced that she was going to be in season 2 as well. What's the actress's name? Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah.
Is playing Bo-Katan in season 2. So that's a little thing that a little bit annoyed me. They have announced that Ahsoka is going to be in season 2. They've announced that Bo-Katan, and they've announced that Boba Fett's in season 2. Like, unless they are huge parts, which I don't think they are, or at least all of them, the whole season, why are you telling me all this right now? Like, wait and give me the surprise.
Surprise.
I think Ahsoka's in 1 episode, 2 tops.
Yeah, like okay, with the Ahsoka thing, I was cool with them announcing that because like,
Yes, 'cause that gets
have you
people
seen
excited.
Rebels? Spoiler alert: she lives.
Yeah.
Well, like with the Bo-Katan one, I think I really like. If you've seen the Clone Wars, like, you know about her and the Mandalorians and all that. Yeah, but I would appreciate it more if it was just like like a surprise.
Yeah.
Like watching the Clone Wars, I would I mean I did had that thought. It's like, oh, she's gonna be on the show, but I'd rather it be like a surprise kind of thing, like a DiCaprio Once Upon a Time meme thing.
It depends on it too, how it goes about, because there's been some speculation that she's that main one who made his armor in season 1. That's actually Bo-Katan. I don't know if it is or not, but if it is, and like she has a big role in season 2, then I can understand them announcing it. Boba Fett's the main one that I think they should have just like kept as a surprise, because I feel like he's only going to be in like 1 episode of season 2, but who knows?
Also, and like I mean,
we know 6. I think we know 7 of the directors for season 2 of 8 episodes. So one of them could be doubling up, or there could be another director we don't know about. But I definitely think that Ahsoka is her first episode in the series is going to be the episode that Dave Filoni's directing. He's only directing 1, he said. So that's definitely going to be her first episode in season 2, I think. And I think Boba Fett is definitely going to be in Jon Favreau's episode, because that's like his favorite character. Yeah, so. Which I also wonder if Favreau is directing the finale of season 2. Which would make sense. He brought in Boba Fett at the end of season 2, like a finale type thing.
I mean, shit, I'm just excited to see that shit.
All right, next Star Wars topic. So, have you got Bill? I know, well, Ethan, I know you haven't because you haven't watched The Mandalorian. Have you watched any of the featurette stuff they've been putting on there recently on Disney Plus, behind the scenes?
I have not, but I've seen like the clips like on YouTube, Twitter, and
definitely check those out if you have time. I wasn't too excited about it at first, but then I watched the first episode, which was the directors, and I really liked it because it made me feel better, especially about Star Wars, but about like the show, and that all of these directors actually care about Star Wars and that they understand it, unlike some of the people who made the sequel or all of the people who made the sequel trilogy. So there's that, and then Taika, he's making his movies too, and he was part of that, and it was all exciting. Now the second episode came out, and I watched it, and it was talking about legacy, and they had some more people on there, including Kathleen Kennedy and some others that worked on the prequels and whatnot. But the main one that I want to talk about is Dave Filoni. He was on both of those episodes, and he talked about the lightsaber fight in episode 1 between Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Darth Maul. And how he thought it was the one of, or if not the most important lightsaber fight in Star Wars. And it was really interesting just like hearing him talk about that, because like how he was just talking about how much is on the line in that fight, and talking about Qui-Gon is the father figure to Anakin, and that whole fight between Maul and Qui-Gon is really for Anakin. It's for that child, for the chosen one. And then ultimately, Qui-Gon dies, and then what happens, and all of that. And then he was talking about how so Anakin loses his father essentially in episode 1. Episode 2, he loses his mom. Obi-Wan is his brother, so he never had parents essentially. He lost them, and then Obi-Wan was his brother, who at first didn't even want to take care of him. It was really Qui-Gon who forced him to do that. He was only doing it because of him. And then we get to episode 3, obviously, and then he loses his brother as well and his wife, and he loses everything. And then, at the end, he gets his son back. But it was just really interesting to hear him talk about it. And it's like you were saying, even if it's garbage, it's whatever that he would make, Dave Filoni, it would still be something worth seeing, in terms of Star Wars. And I really think, too, I know a lot of people want, fans of the show and fans of him and all that want him to make a Star Wars film, and I've heard them shout about him taking over different stuff, and I don't know if he has the experience to do certain things like that. I don't know if I'd still give him a Star Wars movie yet. Based off his episodes in season 1, they were fine. They weren't bad, especially his first episode was good. But I think he needs to direct some more episodes in the show. Maybe give him a series too on his own to make. That would be exciting. But I definitely think he's somebody who I would have, in terms of Star Wars, be co-writing scripts with people. Whether or not, I don't know about his dialogue and all that. You have bring in somebody who's good at that, good at the dialogue, and all of that. Have them be writing that part of the script, but have him be working on the story and making sure that it feels like Star Wars. Because apparently, they just didn't even talk to him at all about Rise of Skywalker. At all. Or any of the sequel trilogy, really.
You just should have given him a call. It's like, hey, man, help a brother out here.
They're just he's the animation guy. He, doesn't matter if he was George Lucas's apprentice. Who cares?
I think with Dave Filoni is, from a creative, and he has some feat directing experience, I would say, with the Clone Wars, but that's animation, so that's kind
completely
of
different though, than live action, which now he has 2 episodes under his belt of live action.
But with directing, he has to get a couple more episodes so he can get some experience under his belt. So it's just kind of you got to play the game, take a couple sacks in order to get experience. But as a guy who can take the keys, for Star Wars, down the road, he is the guy, especially with Jon Favreau with him. So yeah, it's just probably just like how you said, he just needs more experience under his belt.
I personally think that, and I would be fine if it was him and Favreau, or if it was him, or even if it was Favreau, because I feel like he would work with Filoni a lot. Let these guys run Star Wars. Let them creatively run Star Wars. And Kathleen can stay at her position as the head of Lucasfilm and run all the business side of things. Because, she's not just doing Star Wars. She's also doing Indiana Jones and whatever IP they might be, doing. But
here's the thing about it, though. With a property like Star Wars and a company like Disney, for them, it's just a business. So they will do whatever's necessary to make more money.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Keep her as a producer. Keep her as the head of Lucasfilm, because she knows how to do business stuff. I mean, obviously she's been in it a long time. But you have somebody like Favreau, for an example, who is established, and his stuff are hits. They're not like, you got the Jungle Book, Iron Man, Lion King, Mandalorian. I mean,
it's basically Jon Favreau has basically it's just all right, I showed you that I can make money. Well, now let me show you that I can make a pretty good film or pretty good things that can make money.
But I think Taika's a smart decision. That's the best outside of the Mandalorian and some of the TV stuff. That's the most exciting thing I think they've done recently. Is get Taika to come in as the director. Moving on from that, last Star Wars bit I want to talk about is Matt Martin. He is the Lucasfilm Story Group creative executive. He said some stupid shit this past week because he didn't want fans to get too upset over stuff that happens in Star Wars because it's all fake anyways. And he was talking in terms of canon. Now, is it true? Yes, it is. He's right. It's all fake. Is it as serious as, like, say, global warming, what have you? No, absolutely not. And he was talking about how, like, talking about, like, the stuff that isn't canon anymore, the expanded universe, and how those stories are still really good stories, like, it doesn't matter if it's not canon, it's just like a timeline. Essentially, he was trying to say that the canon timeline was just something, like, for them to follow to keep track of things or whatnot. And I just thought that it was just really stupid comments, though. Like, was some of that true? Yes. But was it a smart thing to say? No, I don't, because you've already got a divided fan base. You already got stuff like this, and you're going to throw out comments like that to even piss people off even more. I just think it's stupid. Any thoughts?
Some would say that the Star Wars fandom is more divided than the country right now. But, man, like, I can see, like, I'm with you. I can see where he's going with it, but, like, you have people that, like, literally have invested their life into, like, the lore and everything, so you probably could take his words a bit more wisely.
Exactly.
Because, like, you never know. Probably Star Wars has, like, they grew up in a really, like, abusive household, or they had a rough life, and they kind of needed something to, like, to have an escape.
And yeah, it's a serious thing because people devote a lot of time into your shit, right? I mean, you have nine Skywalker films, 2 other ones. You have all of those. You have your shows, your books, all this different stuff that people invest their time in to want to, like, be into this world, and then you're gonna be like, oh, it's all fake anyways. Who cares? Well, then who cares? Don't buy your shit then. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Think about things you say like that, and as far as you being the creative person at Lucasfilm, it makes me less excited to watch Star Wars. I'm not going to read any of the more books moving forward because they're not going to matter. They might be good stories, but if they're not going to add anything to my viewing experience at all, then it's like, why am I reading it?
Or at least
I come to Star Wars for the films. That's the core of Star Wars. That's where it started, The other stuff are just added factors there. I'm trying to think too. What? I don't know. Ethan, you got anything to add?
I think if you're going to do something, you should do it right. So it doesn't matter if it's fake.
Yeah. And let's be honest too. Like, yes, I mean, there are people who will complain about anything. And you're never going to make everybody happy, and that's fine. Like, the prequels, a lot of people didn't like the prequels, what have you. I can see there's definitely, especially Attack of the Clones, but overall, I like the prequels a lot. I definitely think the sequel trilogy had 2 films that were definitely better than the prequel trilogy. It was like better made films, acting, all of that. But the vision of the prequel trilogy was outstanding. It's just, the execution of it. But Rise of Skywalker sucked. And if this movie had not sucked, and it had people were so impressed, would you be making these comments? If you made a good movie? No. And that's, like, the bottom line to me. It's like you're making these comments because people are upset because you made something that you probably shouldn't have made in the first place. All right. Done with Star Wars.
They're all that crap.
The New Mutants. We are getting a new release.
God.
The movie will now release August 28th, 2020.
Just release the bitch on fucking Hulu, man.
I have no idea why they didn't just release this movie on Disney Plus. Originally, I said Hulu, but I think it's PG-13. Just release it on Disney Plus. I mean, you got all the people going to tune in for it. I mean, I don't care. Put it on either one, but I don't know why you're still.
Tune in for it.
Dude, Dude, I still have the poster from back from 2017.
You said you were excited. You said, "Huh."
I did not say I was excited.
Drop it now.
That's
It
a
looks
different thing. I'm not excited for it, but I think the trailer does look good.
You was just excited to see the dumpster fire. That's pretty much it.
Like, I mean, did you guys think you really thought the trailer was bad?
Yes.
I didn't think it was bad, but I was just kind of like, what the fudge?
You've been burned on all the X-Men movies. You don't like the Fox X-Men universe. You just want it to be done.
I like First Class and Logan.
Well, that was a long Logan, yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
It looked bad. I thought you were joking when you told me like, oh, it looked pretty good.
Did it look like
What?
Infinity War level? No, but I mean, I expected it to be terrible, and I saw the new trailer, and I think the first trailer didn't get me, but it was in the trailer more recently that I watched, and I was like, oh, that surprisingly looks good.
Yeah. First trailer's better than the second one.
Oh, okay, well.
I mean, I was a bit interested with them, like, you know, like trying out the horror genre, but I'm with like Ethan when it comes to the trailer. Like, I was just, what the hell?
I don't think we're even going to dive into the horror genre. That's the problem. Like, I think they're making it seem like that, but if it's PG-13, you're not going to do anything about it.
I don't know. Josh Boone, the director, said that they decided to take his vision because they were doing all these reshoots to try to change it, and he said they're going to do the one he wanted to make now.
Like, yeah, speaking of the reshoots, didn't they go from John Hamm then to like Antonio Banderas and like to like.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're talking about. I think that was cut from the movie too.
Yeah.
Banderas, I think, filmed a scene at the end of the movie. He's the father of somebody, and it was supposed to set up a sequel, but I think they cut it out. I don't think it's
not. You're not going to make a sequel.
Yeah,
I think.
John Hamm.
Yeah. There's a thing about it, like him, like
how you go from
scene,
John
but then
Hamm.
he got cut, and then he got replaced by Antonio Banderas.
No,
I don't know. I think originally they should have put it on this. I think they should have just put it on Disney Plus. But I also think this is a bad release date. I mean, it's not the worst, but August 28th, that's pretty close to Wonder Woman, and you're trying to get the same audience there with the comic book films. I would have released this a little bit sooner, honestly. I would have put it in July. I mean, I know they're afraid about if movie theaters are going to be open, but from what I've heard, they're going to open at the end of June, early July. So, you know, Tenet's going to be that first one out of the gate. I'd put this like a couple weeks after Tenet, but still before Wonder Woman. Because that way you're still getting like people coming back, and there's not a whole lot new out to see. Oh, New Mutants? I've been hearing about this forever. Let's go see this.
I'd probably put it like the first or second week in August, right in the middle.
I'm not going to risk myself, especially with all this shit going on. I'm not going to risk myself for movies. Like, I'll risk myself for Wonder Woman, Black Widow, but not for that, man. I'm not going to wear a gloves and mask for that.
Oh, you're talking about you're not going to go see it. I'll go see it.
No. I mean, if it was like, I guess you can say a quote unquote normal world, I'll go like, fuck it, whatever.
I'll go see the SpongeBob movie. I don't care.
I'm
ready to get back in the theater.
But with this, I got more. I got a lot to lose.
I'm not wearing gloves and mask though.
I'll bring my mask in, and we'll see how close people are to me. But I'm not wearing gloves.
Not for me.
Well. Next topic.
Ethan just like to get me. I get the corona.
I just don't. Honestly, I'd rather have the corona at this point. Just stop hearing about it.
Luke Quagenio, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He directed Suspiria and Call Me by Your Name, two films of both which I did not like. He will be directing the Scarface reboot. Bill, you excited?
I mean, I like the guy. I mean, I think he's a pretty good
I know,
director.
that's why I said that, because you're a big fan of Call Me by Your
But,
Name.
like, with Scarface, it's just kind of like, I was just like, I just can't fucking see it.
Yeah, it's going to be the most boring, blandest Scarface.
Like, that's what I was going with. Like, as much as I like Call Me by Your Name, I was just like,
The original was boring anyway. So
in the 80s.
I mean,
yeah.
No, this guy can surprise the hell. He can surprise us. You know,
It was boring anyway, so this is going to be even terrible.
Because the iconic Scarface from the 80s is actually a remake. You know, it was a black and white film. But I haven't seen either one, to be honest. I keep meaning to watch the Al Pacino Scarface. Eventually I'll get around to it. I know it's iconic, but it's so long. I've already seen The Godfather.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll watch it before this new one, which I will watch. But, you know, this is development hell too. what's that? Fuqua.
Yeah.
He was supposed to make this movie originally, the remake.
Yeah.
He was supposed to make it with Diego Luna.
Yeah, I was with
That
him.
was the director and the cast, and that was 2 years ago.
Something like that.
And it's just, I don't know. I guess they just were like, no, not making that anymore. And now came in, he's directing it. I'm assuming that Diego Luna is no longer attached, which I never felt like he was a good fit for Scarface, anyways. At least from what I know about it. He's a fine actor, but I just don't see it. Oscar Isaac would be my choice. I think that'd be great. Pascal.
Pedro.
Pascal. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen too much. I haven't seen Better Call Saul, so I don't know how much.
I mean, he's mostly done a bunch of work like in Spanish. My mom says he's a pretty good actor, so.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, she's seen some of his work in Spanish, so.
I'm just not excited about that director at all. Like I said, both his movies to me were bland and boring. Man, I feel like that's not what I want Scarface to be. I would have rather you brought in, if you're going to bring in a name, man, bring in Nicholas Winding Refn to direct it.
I'd like to have Steve McQueen direct it.
Oh,
I'll be opposed to that.
I like that idea. Why didn't they listen to Ethan?
Or bring in somebody who has, a new director.
Oh, now another. What's that dude's name from?
And we don't know either, like, because the original thing was Cuban, right? He was supposed, well.
Yeah.
Pacino's not Cuban, but
he
was supposed to be playing a Cuban character in the film.
Yeah.
And then when they were making the first reboot with Diego Luna, it was supposed to be, they were changing it, right?
Yeah, he wasn't from Cuba. Yeah.
Which made sense that, changing it with it. Well, that's another thing that doesn't really excite me, because I think now you're putting it in modern day, though. Yeah. And I don't. I guess it is going to be a modern day movie, but
they have a Mexican cartel in Miami.
I would prefer to see it in the 80s again.
It was like his big thing was cocaine. Like, is that still that big?
He'll probably change it something else.
I mean, if they're looking cocaine, just do this like in Los Angeles, like.
Keep it in the 80s. Or
the 90s. That would be exciting too. Put it in the 90s. Make it heroin.
Just make Vice City. God.
Put it in L. Put it. Well, I think that was another thing too about the Fuqua one. I think it might have been going to be in Los Angeles instead of Miami.
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Which I would prefer that as well.
I personally would like to see like a modern take of the 80s Miami.
But you guys said that Michael B. Jordan might be playing this role.
That's what I read yesterday, yeah.
Which is, yeah, I don't know. What does that mean?
The character might be Dominican. I don't know.
Might be what?
The character might be Puerto Rican or Dominican. That's pretty much it.
Not a fan of that. Is Michael B. Jordan from there?
No, it's a Twitter joke.
Oh, that was like a big part of the 80s Scarface was about, like, being an immigrant and making it. So I don't want just like a.
That's the main thing I think of. That's the main thing I think of when I think of Scarface, is a story of an immigrant. Yeah. So I feel like that's at least what you should stay true to with the story.
Yeah.
You're not getting that with Michael B. Jordan. You're changing it, and you could there's other angles you could take, but that's not to me like what I think of when I think of Scarface. Anyways, moving on.
Oh, Matt, real quick. I know who you can attach instead of Margot Robbie.
Who?
Your girl from Knives Out.
Ana de Armas?
Yeah.
Just make her the leading character then, if she's going to be in it.
Oh, man. Sign me up.
You're going to have her. Just make her the leading character.
That would be exciting. Definitely a different spin. Yeah, I'm here for it. All right. Next topic. Andy Serkis says that he spoke a little bit this week about the Batman. He said Alfred and Bruce relationship are the core of the story, and it's going to be a very different Batman film that we've seen, but a very broody film. What do you guys think? Sounds like Batman.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I'm glad that Alfred and Batman are having a good relationship. Sticking with that.
Yeah, well, you had a
it's not with Andy Serkis. My problem was with Robert Pattinson.
What?
With with him like not doing his like workouts and stuff.
Oh, I don't
mean,
care.
look, I'm not saying this just because like I work out myself and stuff, but I'm doing this is like if you're gonna play a role, you got to make it believable. Now I get it that he doesn't have superpowers, but it's just kind of like I mean, isn't that the whole point why Batman like does the workouts? See, like he tests himself in every aspect.
Well, see, one, he's got plenty of time to get in shape, but then it's also early in his career, so he's not going to be as devoted to that.
Yeah, I feel like this Batman's going to be smaller.
I don't see like a ripped Batman in this movie.
I mean, I'm not saying this guy has to like get like fucking like swole like Chris Hemsworth, but it's like Daniel Craig or something.
Like,
I mean, he's not going to buffets right now. I don't think.
It's not like he's 300 pounds. Batman.
I just don't think he's working out as much. He's still eating healthy. He said he's eating tuna out of the can.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure like if you work in the movie industry, at least like will like find a way to get something. It's like I'm pretty sure like once like whenever they're cleared to go back to film, I'm pretty sure they're gonna go like, all right, time to go back to work.
I feel like you're more upset about it because you work out.
No, but it's just, the whole thing is just like, no, it's just like it's dedication to a role. It's just like if I'm getting paid all this money, like I have something to like prove myself to the studio. I gotta prove myself to the fans.
I think if Matt Reeves or if whoever was upset about it, it wouldn't be happening. I feel like if he was like, oh man, you gotta stay in shape. You gotta go be going to the gym every day.
I don't know. He's got like right now you're at least a month to 2 months out from filming anyway, so I don't see the big deal.
Well, that's another thing I didn't put in here, but I'll go ahead and mention that too. I know like Tyler Perry, he's starting his studios back up in July. I think there's a couple other places that were starting it back up in July as well. Yeah. So that's when production is going to start picking back up is July and August.
He has a good 2 months to get back into shape.
Yeah.
Can't imagine.
I mean, yes or no, but like through all that, like it takes like if you're trying to achieve a goal, it takes like 3 months at best to see results. Well, to see like.
But he's already in shape though.
Yeah, but he's not out of shape.
I mean, yeah, like he's in shape, but like he's not like Bruce Wayne how you used to.
Well, dude, the way he looks right now is where you're going to see him in the movie. It doesn't matter if he keeps working out. They've already started filming the movie, so it's not like he's going to look like he is right now while they're filming, and then he's going to get bigger. They shoot out of order, so like they could have already shot the last scene of the movie. He's not what you see right now. That's how he's going to look in the movie.
I don't know, man. Like if I got casted to like a villain or superhero role, my first thing would be like, all right.
But that might not be what they want though.
I mean, that's not.
I don't think you don't want like Arnold from the 80s. You don't like. Well, I'm saying like you don't cast Robert Pattinson to make him look like that.
Well,
of course not. It's of course not. Like,
I mean, you have somebody like Kumail Nanjiani. Like him, I'm sure he's still working out because he looks drastically different.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's staying in shape, but like Robert Pattinson, he was never really out of shape. And I can't imagine him being just ripped in this movie, so.
Well, I know, Bill, you've been saying that from the beginning about Pattinson, about him getting bigger. But I'm like, that's what I'm saying. He's not getting bigger for this movie. The way he looks right now is the way Batman Bruce Wayne is going to look in this movie. They might make him bigger in as the movies go on, as his character progresses. But
I just don't see that. I
don't think he's going to be bigger. I think he's going to be more toned.
Yeah.
Because even Christian Bale wasn't that big.
No.
He was just in really good shape.
Right. But that's the version of Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Oh, Christian. I mean, yeah, like that size, that's fine. Like, but like, like to me, like Robert Pattinson looks like. I mean, he's still in pretty good shape. Like that's like about how I fucking look right now. But
It's only going to matter really if there's like a shirtless scene.
Yeah.
Not like you're just
okay.
in a you're going to see him in a suit or a bat suit. So either way, you're not going to see him that much.
Yeah. I just think that's the version of Batman they're telling. And I mean, I'm fine with that. And like you said, I think he'll be toned up more in the future films as it goes on. Because I mean, we don't know the story of this movie either. I mean, if you look at Batman Begins, this guy, you know, what he was like in other countries, just like on the run, or not on the run, but you know what I'm saying. He's like traveling, not really in different prisons, whatever he was doing before he came back to Gotham. He wasn't like in the gym every day.
Yeah.
So you're definitely not getting like a Ben Affleck version.
well, of course, it's a fucking comic book in a movie. Like I'm pretty sure we're not gonna see a Batman movie with him at Gold's Gym.
You never know, man.
Maybe he bought Gold's Gym.
Could be sponsored movie.
All right, next topic. Rob Liefeld, the Deadpool creator, says that Kevin Feige has no plans to do a Deadpool 3. Last week we talked about how Ryan Reynolds said that there was no concrete plans, but there was an infinite amount of possibilities for Deadpool. This guy says that Feige has no plans to do Deadpool 3, and he's not optimistic about the future. What you guys think?
Fine with me.
You think what?
Why you lying? I'll be like, if I was like in the room with him, like, why is you lying?
You think he's lying?
I think he's lying. I mean, didn't like Ewan McGregor did that with Obi-Wan for 2-3 years?
I don't think it's the same situation.
I mean,
I think that's very different. I don't know. I mean,
MCU
is
their stuff.
I mean, like, let's say, like, hypothetically, if I got casted for Doctor Doom and someone told me, like, is it true you're in talks? I'll probably say something stupid, or I'll
this
just be
isn't
like,
Ryan Reynolds. This is the Deadpool creator. I mean, he's not making movies. He's just a comic book guy. It's not like It's not like Hugh McGregor, who's like every time someone asks questions, they're like, "Are you coming back as Obi-Wan? Like, what's happening?"
But still, you got to be prepared for those kind of situations. I mean,
and Ryan Reynolds, if he said, you know, that's a different situation too, where it was like Ryan Reynolds last week, you know, there's no plans, but there's all these possibilities. I read that as, yes, they're probably making a Deadpool 3. But this director, you know, this guy, Deadpool creator, he says that they're not optimistic. He's not optimistic about it, and that Feige has no plans. I think he's telling the truth. I don't think that's like, you know, why would he lie about that? I don't know.
Look, it's Disney, man, and if I work for Disney, I will lie my ass off because I don't want to be in Mickey jail.
He doesn't work for yeah.
So I think
he can say whatever he wants. Like if they want Deadpool, they're gonna have to pay him for it anyway.
Yeah.
So he can say whatever he wanted.
I think you usually get either real stuff or bullshit like stuff from comic book creators usually. And when I say bullshit stuff, it's like stuff that's not actually happening, but they want it to happen. But this is like the opposite direction. He's saying it's not going to happen. So I don't think that's you know.
I mean, I think it's not.
And he kind of dissed. I feel like he was not talking highly of it when he was talking about it. I think like he definitely wanted them to continue with Fox. I feel like because he was saying how like, you know, Deadpool and Deadpool 2, they came out so close together, and he's like, he was happy that we got those two movies, which Deadpool 2 wasn't that good. I don't know how you guys.
I think they're both about the same.
I like the first one. Second one, it wasn't the worst, but they should have took some more time. It should have been a Deadpool 2 and not a buildings block for
Brad.
You wasted Brad Pitt. What was that, dude? Yeah,
I mean, won, so.
And you know, he says this too about like they have no plans for Deadpool 3. I don't think, and you know, Ryan Reynolds has actually said in the past that he didn't think there would be in Deadpool 3. So I think fans of the property shouldn't get too upset right now because Reynolds has said that in the past. He said that he didn't think there'd be a Deadpool 3, that he thought that the next step was the X-Force.
Yeah, it was obviously the next step.
So, you know, you still might get X-Force. And the thing is, it's like these movies, and I don't think they should, and I don't think they're going to tie in with the MCU. It makes no sense to. And as far as Feige not having any plans, I think that's what that is. He has no plans to put this in the MCU because it shouldn't be in there. And right now, especially with the coronavirus and everything and pushing all these movies back, they're not worried about Deadpool right now. They're going to take a step back, and then they're going to be like, okay, when could we put a Deadpool movie in? Because we got 4 comic book movies coming out a year now, like every year, because of this situation. That's just our movies. That's not even DC or Sony's spinoff shit.
Other Disney.
Or other Disney properties. Where can we fit a Deadpool or X-Force movie in? I think eventually you're going to get it. Ryan Reynolds is definitely going to come back.
About 2025.
It'll be a while, but it'll happen. I also don't think it's something that they would ever put on. It's not something they'd ever put on Disney Plus, because I think it would be rated R, and I don't think they would spend that much money on a Hulu property.
Never.
So I think it will be a movie, but I think it'll be a while. Like you said, 2025. That's 7 years from the last movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2024, 2025, you'll see an X-Force movie. They'll squeeze it in somewhere. And it'll be, I think, something they should do too, make an X-Force movie, but take the story smaller. Take it back. Look at the first Deadpool. I know you got more characters, but take something like that, because that was good. And it's cheaper. Do it. And bring Drew Goddard back. Make him, because he was going to make the X-Force. Let him do it.
Yeah.
Next topic. I know you guys really don't probably care too much about this, but they announced or Ryan Murphy said that American Horror Story, they're making not talk about the new season, but they're making a spin-off series where each episode of the season will be a different story. So it's not like a season about one thing. It's like each episode is its own thing, kind of like the Twilight Zone or something.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of it, but I just feel like talk about it because I talk about usually his stuff on here.
We might check that out. If it's like
we'll watch the new season of American Horror Story. All of their new seasons I'll watch, no matter if they're pretty much now if they're bad, because I've watched all the other ones except there's a few I haven't watched, but they're older ones and I can't get through them. But I'm not into stuff where it's like each episode's a different thing. Like unless it came out like I know I've talked about Tarantino. I think he should do something like that.
Well, I think he should with his universe though.
Exactly.
That's a different idea than. I mean, I like Twilight Zone, but I hope he's not comparing his stuff to that.
Mm-mm. That was me.
Oh, okay. Disgrace.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be good, but I like something that can get dedicated to watching versus just watching one episode and then it's over. But I mean, all of his American Horror Stories take place in the same universe too. So I mean, this could take place in that same universe, and that could still be interesting. You could even follow up on some characters that you left off in the other seasons. Could be cool. Speaking of horror films, Mike Flanagan is adapting Stephen King's revival. His novel for WB. Flanagan's definitely a Stephen King fan. What do you guys think? You guys excited?
I don't know what it's about.
I'm not sure either. I read what it was, but I already forgot. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I Sleep a lot. I like Hush. Oculus is all right. Wasn't nothing special.
What was it?
Oculus, his other movie.
I haven't seen Oculus, but you haven't watched it yet, and I highly recommend it. I love The Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
It was just perfect to me.
I mean, didn't he also do like Dr. Sleep?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Dr.
from the sound
Sleep,
of it, he has a pretty good track record. So
yeah, 4.5 for me. Excellent film. Love Haunting of Hill House. Was it Gerald's Game? I thought that was good.
Yeah, that was
And there's only like one movie. It was the one with Jacob Tremblay. The Before I Sleep. That one. I didn't like that one, but that was one of his earlier ones, and I still need to watch Hush. But he, to me, is like the best horror director right now, hands down. And just he's a really good director in general. But I love what he does with horror because it's not jump scares. It's not gory. It's he really understands the genre and what is actually scary and focuses on emotion and characters. He's really character driven, and everything that I've seen, Haunted of Hill House, The Doctor Sleep, even Gerald's Game, very character driven. So I'm excited. I don't know what the story is about, but him doing it, anything he does, I'm going to be. He's one of those directors now that's like anything he does, I'm going to check out. I'm also excited for the new season of Haunting of Bly Manor is what the next season is. Excited for that. Next topic, Percy Jackson, which was apparently they made 2 films. I never knew they made a sequel. Yep. But they are adapting that series, or the book series, as a show on Disney Plus. You guys excited?
I might check out the first season.
I'll check it out.
Will not watch it unless they cast somebody that blows my mind.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Greek mythology. So you got me there.
Mythology too.
I never had any interest in the movies, so.
I saw the first one and I liked it. I just never got to see the second one, so.
I just rewatched the first one. It's not that good.
No, well, we'll see. I mean, like I said,
I like Greek mythology, so you got me, at least for one season.
Hopefully it's good. Speaking of shows, I read that the CW, they're not bringing any new shows back until January 2021. So, typically a fall season for a show starts in like September, October at the latest. They are going to have some shows this fall, and like the final season of Supernatural is coming out this fall, which I don't know too much about this. I assume that that's like it didn't finish airing. Like they didn't finish filming it, didn't finish airing. So whatever they have left, they're going to move it to the fall and debut it there, wrap up that. And there's like another Swamp Thing's going to be in the fall. And then like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Man, that show's still going. But that's going to be in the fall. But like all the new stuff that they're doing, any new shows they are developing or any returning seasons for other stuff, not happening until January 2021. I mean, even if you guys are not like a fan of CW properties, because, what do you guys think?
It makes sense right now. So.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. I think it's kind of a stupid decision, but.
I mean, if you already have something to air, I don't know why you wouldn't air it in the fall.
Well, I'm assuming that it's like they haven't filmed any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like instead of typically, when shows go back.
Swamp Thing was finished, wasn't it?
They're airing that in the fall.
Oh, yeah.
That is airing.
I mean, it sounds stupid, but probably like they probably doing it just because like we're not sure how the future's going to be, and they're just kind of like, fuck, let's just save these things just in case.
That's what they're doing, and yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm not like. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm not watching these shows anyways, most likely. And if it's a new show that I end up watching, I'll watch it then. But typically with CW, and I just know this from like One Tree Hill, when they go back and when they started filming, it was in late June or July when they would come back and start filming the next season. So obviously, they would probably have to push that back. I mean, a lot of stuff films in Atlanta, and Tyler Perry's starting to film back in July, so they could have started filming again in July, August. You could have pushed it back, but I would have done that instead of 2021. I would have pushed it back and had premieres come out in October. Even if you had like 5 episodes of the season come out this year, if you started in November, I feel like that's better than waiting until January. I mean, I don't know. That's just me though. I mean, even like if you look at a season, most seasons of like long format, like 22 episodes, and like I said from One Tree Hill, the first 5 episodes are usually like one self-contained like arc, and then you have a break. You could have did 5 episodes in the fall and then had a break and come back in January. Give somebody something, because they still have to come back and start filming this year. So I don't know why you're waiting until yeah. Anyways, Uma Thurman and Jeremy Renner. This is something I want to to mention for you, Ethan, they were considered to be the leads in Fury Road. What do you think about that?
Terrible. God, terrible. I'm about to watch it after we finish doing this for the 5
Well,
minutes.
you know, I will say this: Uma Thurman, I can see it. I'm not going to say that she would be a better fit than Charlize Theron.
I can't see it now that I've watched the movie.
But you know,
not Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner's one. I'm like, oh man, I've never been a huge fan anyway. So I'm like,
I don't think he's a bad actor, but he's no Tom Hardy
or Mel Gibson.
Like I say, if you'd have gave me Uma Thurman and I watched the movie, you know, I don't think she would have done a bad job, but
right. I think the movie would have worked the same with Uma Thurman.
I don't know about that. You don't know what you're talking about.
Jeremy Renner, this movie, you're not getting a sequel.
No.
I mean, it's really hard to see those two, especially like right now, just because the one like it's a fucking masterpiece to put it together. In my opinion, it's a masterpiece.
You haven't seen the movie. Don't make that face, dude. He's not wrong. It's the greatest action movie of all time. I'm not having this argument with you. You will watch the movie.
What Kool-Aid are you guys drinking?
Cherry, dude.
It's a pretty good Kool-Aid, actually, so you should try it.
You have not seen the movie.
I've seen it.
No, you have not. You have not seen it.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, because you just ate a big meal.
It doesn't matter. I fell asleep. If it was Once Upon a Time, I would have stayed awake. All right, Dakota Johnson joins Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry, Darling, which is a thriller based on an unhappy housewife in the 1950s. Yes. Already the film has like Shia LaBeouf, Florence Pugh, Chris Pine.
It's the best news of the week.
Yeah, you think so? I'm excited. And I don't know. I need to check. Isn't she making a Christmas movie next? I thought she was making some Christmas movie, and that was like her follow-up to Booksmart. And is this the movie that's coming out after that, or is that Christmas movie not happening? Do you know?
I thought this was her next project.
Maybe it is. Anyways.
I don't care about a Christmas movie.
This movie has an incredible lineup. Like, all of these actors are just fantastic. I'm going to pull up real quick. Okay. Well, that holiday one that I was talking about, it just says it's in development. So I guess this is the follow-up. Maybe that'll happen some other time. She also has a movie in development called Perfect, which is about somebody overcoming a terrible injury in the 1996 Olympics. Man, fucking IMDb and their pop-ups, man. Yeah, like I said, Florence Pugh, Olivia Wilde is playing a character in the film as well. Shia LaBeouf, Dakota Johnson, Chris Pine. Yeah. Couldn't be more excited. And you're putting it's a period piece too, thriller. Yeah, sign me up. The final topic for the week, that's why I saved for the last, is that, AMC theaters, they are in big trouble financially. And then they also came off with this thing too, where they're not going to show the Universal movies, all this different stuff, what have you. We're now to the point where there's a rumor going around that Amazon might be going to buy AMC theaters. Do you guys think this will happen? And what do you think of the idea?
Yeah, I'm going to get that Prime membership then.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I think it will happen. Unless there's any laws or something saying, I don't know about that. I'm curious about it. But didn't they do away with that this past year? I think we talked about it. I can't remember. Well, Amazon makes films.
Yeah,
so
but
the thing in the past where if you make a film, you can't, exhibit it.
I mean, from Amazon for a business standpoint, it's a good thing because, like you said, like they can release Amazon movies in AMC theater.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. In the past, that wasn't a thing they legally do. Companies couldn't do that.
I think that's Amazon though. That's not Jeff Bezos. He's gonna be the one that owns AMC.
Yeah.
Plus, they're saying Amazon, but he's gonna own it. You can own two separate companies.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just wondering if there's any kind of legal issue that he's
I think that's how you get away with it. He can own two companies. Now he can't. I guess he couldn't take like Amazon money and like, oh, buy this.
Right. No.
No, he can own both, and I think that's what's going to happen. It's not not Amazon. Like obviously they're showing Amazon movies, but
well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking too, though. You don't. It is him. You read the article. It is him. It's not Amazon. He's not buying it through Amazon.
And that's what's going to happen. It's going to be him buying it, not through Amazon.
But see, that's
either way, like he's going to own both properties either way.
Yeah, but then like, see, I imagine if he buys it, that it would have a deal with Amazon.
Well, yeah, but he can still get away with it because he can still say, look, like Matt, he can still say, oh, I'm running Amazon, but I'm having so and so running that.
Yeah, it's not like Paramount is buying AMC.
Well, see, I feel like it's a little bit different though, because I mean, he bought Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And Whole Foods has a deal with Amazon.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's gonna be like the same situation. You don't think they're gonna change the name to Amazon Theaters?
No.
You think it'll stick to AMC? You think it'll keep the AMC name?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's gonna be Amazon movies.
I don't know. I can honestly see changing the name to Amazon.
See, I don't think you're gonna be able to do that with the laws.
But he's not gonna change the name.
I'm gonna have to go do some research on this because I there was a thing last year, or it might have been earlier this year. I think it was last year though, where they were even trying to do it, where it happened, where they were overruling that. And it was a Paramount thing. It was a Paramount law that happened back in like the 40s or whatever, where you couldn't do that anymore because they, obviously back in the old days they did do that.
Studio system,
yeah. But there was a thing coming out recently because I know I was watching people react to it and how they were worried Disney was going to do it. That Disney was going to like start buying their own theaters and showing their movies and all this different stuff. So I don't know.
But that's Disney owning the company though.
Yeah.
Not Jeff Bezos buying it. Like Bob Iger could buy a theater chain. Disney could not absorb like AMC.
Based on the past laws, that's what I'm saying though. I'm not sure if that's still in effect.
But I mean, if that law is still in effect, that's what you're talking about. Amazon can't absorb AMC.
So if if that law is still in effect, then it's Jeff Bezos buying it, and I can see that happen.
He'll absolutely make a deal with Amazon because
they don't. It's not in effect anymore. I think it'll be bought through Amazon, and it'll become more of an Amazon type theater, which will be definitely interesting moving forward too, if other companies will do the same thing.
Yeah, because I think he will include it with your Prime membership.
Man, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Now Prime membership might go up, but I think it's absolutely going to be included somehow.
I mean, but wouldn't that be worth it? With
it's
all
already
the I mean, you got the streaming service, you got the So
I mean, yeah, with the free 2-day shipping, of course.
One day on certain stuff.
Okay.
I think it's absolutely a great idea.
It's all a scary thing though. I mean, it's good and it's bad because if that happens, we're excited for that, like all that put into one. But if that happens too, then a lot more people are going to AMC than Regal now. And
that's the free.
I somewhat agree with you because, well, back with the sports world, that is already going on because there's like the city club thing, and they own like soccer teams each country. That's what Jeff Bezos is gonna do. But like when it comes to that in the sports world, like for soccer, there's only like two or three families I can think of that's actually doing that. They can get away with it, but they gotta find loopholes.
Yeah.
That's the free market.
Because
also, can we talk about this too? I want to throw this out there before I forget. I was thinking about the other day how AMC wasn't showing Universal movies anymore.
I think
I was thinking about Rico joined them.
I think Regal's doing the same thing too now. They said something about it.
No, so what Regal said, we talked about this on that episode of Happy Hour. Regal, they said so for example, Regal would not show Trolls. They're not going to, and this makes sense. They're not going to show any movie that a studio puts out that doesn't respect the windows. So like if you put a movie out on Movie on Demand or Video on Demand, the same time you put the movie was supposed to go to theater, they're not going to show the movie because it's not guaranteed that people are going to come see it.
And so it's just a waste of space and time for them.
Yeah. But they're not saying, well, because you did this with Trolls, we're not showing any of your movies anymore. You can keep Fast and the Furious.
You definitely jumped the gun on that one.
Yeah, that's crazy. And, yeah, Bezos is definitely overturning that shit right away.
Yeah. He's going to deal with Universal.
Just insane. But what I was getting to, which is crazy, I was thinking about, jobs out in LA and different stuff, and, I might have to try to get a movie theater job again. I was thinking about AMC. Universal City Walk, which is, at Universal Studios. The movie theater there is AMC.
Yeah.
They're not going to, you're at Universal City Walk and you're not showing Universal movies?
Nope.
How crazy is that?
Wait, real quick. Do you think if Amazon succeeds on buying AMC, do you think they're going to start the minimum wage at $15?
No. You're not going to pay. No. Amazon's not buying AMC.
Well, Jeff Bezos or what now? Whoever, well, fuck me.
Yeah.
You get the point. Like, like how Whole Foods does like $15 an hour.
Whole Foods does that?
Well,
I don't know. There's no way you're paying somebody at Amazon who works like a rented mule the same as somebody who's getting popcorn in a tub.
I don't know.
I think they will.
But Amazon would just quit and go to AMC. Why would I work there, sweat to death when I could just sit there in a nice air condition with a uniform?
I don't know.
And also,
that to himself.
You haven't worked in a movie theater though.
No, but it's not manual labor.
It's working with the public though.
But it's not manual labor.
Look, man, I'd rather do manual labor than work in a movie theater just because all that fucking, God damn.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Go work at Amazon, and then be like, yeah, this should be paid the same as a movie theater company.
I mean, it's just a thought.
I don't know. I would have to look at what actually Whole Foods makes an hour. If they make 15, which I don't think they do. I don't think they start
in our area.
I think they start at 10.
I think it's a little bit more than that.
Look it up. Well, Whole Foods is also like an uppity place.
Well, I think they'll raise. I think if he took over AMC, I think the minimum wage would get raised to 10, which I think it should. But I don't know for sure. I don't even know what AMC pays their employees now, if they are like Regal, where they do the bottom line.
I think they're like Regal. I went to high school with someone that works at AMC. Work.
I don't know. I'm gonna go into a rant about that. I don't want to do that. So about Regal's pay and what have you. But anyways, that's all I have. Do you guys have any more movie topics to talk about this week?
Nope.
We can check the Twitter feed real quick.
I think that was probably it for the day. I'm sure something will come out this afternoon because it always happens on Friday afternoons.
Avatar: Last Airbender is streaming on Netflix.
Yeah. Also, all right, I just looked it up. For a third shift grocery stocker at Whole Foods in Massachusetts is $16 an hour. So first shift is not starting at anything above 10.
I think it's 10. 9 or 10 is what I think Whole Foods starts at.
So I can't imagine he raised the minimum wage there, because that's about what you would get at any place for a third shift. So he's not he's not paying anybody any more than he has to.
No. All right, guys, that's our episode of Happy Hour. Don't forget to check back next Friday for all new movie news. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel.